Alright folks, welcome back to PrepperNow. I want to do some straight prepping videos. This is a real quick one, real easy one. This is how to preserve eggs for a while. Welcome to PrepperNow. Alright friends, thanks so much for being here. So I want to just do a basic little run through of what I do when I'm prepping some extra eggs. Now this doesn't happen all the time, but this is kind of a strange point for us in the year. And this is when our eggs start to get deficient. We do have chickens. We do collect their eggs. But sometimes in winter they don't produce as much. And then you tack on the fact that we have 3 kids all going to school and we make them eggs a lot of times in the morning. Eggs are every morning thing for me. I love them. They're great protein. They're good for you. One chef said eggs are the perfect food. And I agree with that. So I like to preserve them. And so I'm going to just basically take you through the process of what we do. And we start by cracking the eggs into a bowl, yolks and everything, and just letting them sit there and get ready to whip them up. And I found a great deal at a local grocery store where they had 12 dozen, or not 12, well, a dozen Eggland eggs for $2.99. And so I thought, you know what? Okay. So I'm only doing about 24, 2 dozen eggs on this batch. Just enough for now to get us through if things start to, get crazy on the money and I just need to supplement things because that's kind of the way we do it. Or my wife wants to do some baking or something like that. So we take them, put them in the bowl, and then I whip them up and just using a knife, whisk, whatever, whip them up into a nice blend of egg, yolk, and whites. And then take them from there, and we've got 2 different egg or muffin pans. And the muffin pans have like a larger one, which would be about an egg and a half to 2 eggs. And the other one's a smaller one, which is about a small egg. So we distribute them evenly between the 2. I've got 12 on the larger ones, and I've got 9 on the smaller ones. Perfect for a little morning delight, if you will, when you wake up. So you take the eggs, you whip them up in the bowl, and then I take them and I pour them into these muffin pans. Now here's the key. What we do is we spray down the muffin pan with a little bit of, your favorite non-stick spray, and we just give a little bit to that, and that way when you're popping them out, which can be not hard, but just a little bit tougher, you have to have a little bit of strength for it. So if you're not as strong as your average human, and maybe you're like my dad. My dad probably need a little help. He's older. Nothing wrong with that. He used to be able to chuck me across the room, but now he would need a little help. We spray it down, and that way they pop out a little bit easier. You still got to get some leverage, but once the eggs are in this pan, they are put into the freezer. Now, please alert everybody that you know that you are doing this and that you are putting them into your freezer. We, unfortunately, for this kind of an operation, have one of those basket shelf drawer kind of refrigerators. And so I have to pull it out and put it up there on top of different frozen foods and stuff. And so if someone knocks it, or if one of your kids doesn't know what they're doing, they can go in and they can knock this stuff all over your freezer, and that's an incredible mess, and I hope to God you don't do that. So put them into the freezer and let them sit. We didn't have a lot of room, so what I did was I let the big ones sit for a while and freeze over. And then I brought the smaller ones in, and that way I could kind of take the the already freezing eggs and put them in a way where they could tilt a little bit, not spill out, and I could fit both pans in there over our frozen wontons. So take those and put them together and go to bed and come back the next morning, and voila, you have frozen eggs. All right, take a knife from there, get a bag, get a Ziploc bag, that's what we use, and take the knife, you put it in the side of the egg in the egg pan, and you use a little bit of force, and generally after a good millimeter down into this thing, it usually jars loose and pops out, and then you take that and you put that into the Ziploc bag. So be careful too when you're using implements, just like anything, kitchen rules. Use things that will not send you to the hospital. I'm sure there are numerous stories of people that would be in an SHTF of some form, and they're going to open up a can and they cut themselves terribly. So whenever you're in the kitchen, always be careful. That's rule number one. But I used a butter knife, okay? So you pop those out, you put them into the Ziploc bag, and then you roll them up, and you put them into your freezer where they will live to be cooked another day. Now, to get these things out and ready to cook, what we do is I get a glass, and I take the egg the night before, because I usually wake up at about 6:30, make my eggs for breakfast, and then go to work and eat my whatever it is, either in the car if I'm running late or right there at the counter right before I leave. And you put them in a glass and they thaw out in the refrigerator, not to the point where they are liquid again, but they're not fully frozen. So when you pop them into your, preferably, cast iron skillet, they basically get ready into form pretty quickly. And you can actually take these things and turn them into nice little breakfast Sammies. I get the bread that my wife makes, and I get one piece of bacon, and I put it in the air fryer. I take that, I take a little bit of the bacon grease from that, put it into the pan, put the egg in there, fry it up with the bread, and then a slice of cheese, though I've been trying to stay away from the cheese lately. And there you have it, folks. Eggs. 24 of them, not taking up space in your fridge, hidden in a corner of your freezer, ready if things are going to become really expensive. I saw almost $8 eggs at a Food Lion. I saw $7 eggs at a Sam's Club. These are not high-end, super organic. These are not 18 or 24 packs. These are just dozens of eggs. So if you find a great deal on eggs like I did, $3 for a dozen of Eggland is about as good as you're going to get, and it's been for the while. Pounce on them, take them, whip them up, pour them into that egg pan or muffin pan, and then freeze them, and then eat them on another day. All right, friends. We'll see you on the next one. PrepperNow out.